Right, so the main reason I'm here today is to plant more garlic. Now, excuse the microphone on my hat. Every time I put it on my top, I get this horrible rustling sound, so I need to figure out where to put this. That's not going to interfere with the sound quality of these videos. But yeah, I'm here today to plant more garlic. Now, I do have my own garlic from last year, which is my last one. And I also have 2 more elephant garlic that I want to plant in their own pots. But first is I pay for a subscription box which gets delivered every month. Now, this is not sponsored, but this is a subscription that I really have enjoyed over the past few months. Now it's called Seedcraft, and every month they send you 4 random varieties of seeds that you can plant within that month. So it's a good thing if you wanted to try new things like I do. But yeah, so this month they've sent me more garlic. Now this is a type that I do not have. I'm pretty sure I don't have. This is called Thermodrome, and they've sent me 12 cloves. So with all my other garlic, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to run out for quite a while. But yeah, so I want to plant these into seed trays. Now, I know for a fact that garlic do not like to be waterlogged. So these have pretty decent sized holes in the bottom. And I've never grew garlic in trays before. So it's also a little experiment to see the difference. And also gives me another set of garlic to plant if I have space on any of my existing beds, just to maximize my chance of getting good garlic. So yeah, I will fill these up with some soil, and then I'm pretty sure you just poke these in there and that's it. And then you can just leave them to overwinter in my polytunnel, which is the idea. So yeah, I'll fill this up and we'll plug them all in. Right, so now I've filled the tray, I can start bunging them in. If I can get my gloves off. That's quite a nice warm day at the butt today. It looks very overcast, but it's quite nice today. So yeah, so these are the Thermodrome, which I've said, and I haven't actually seen these yet, but I'm assuming they're just regular cloves. Yep. Now we have one which is moldy, so I think I will leave that one. But the rest seem okay. So yeah, point side up, and I'm literally just going to push these in, just so the tips are facing out of the soil. Now I didn't compact these that much because I wanted the soil quite loose, and the soil I've used is nothing special. It's just soil from my bags, which has already came from my plot. So it's going to be in the same sort of soil as my other garlic, which is what I prefer if I'm then going to replant these on the plot. I don't think that really matters, but for me it's what I wanted. So yeah, just pushing these in. Now it said that I had 12, but I had more. So these 2 are, I mean, this one is soft and moldy, so that one is no good. That can go in the compost bin, and this one is barely anything there, so that can be left. So that is the Thermodromes planted. Now in the same tray, I'm going to put my own garlic in. Now this is a soft neck garlic, so it's just easily done. Now I do have these medical tongue sticks that you can get from Amazon. Now they're just a wooden stick which I use to label my things. They're quite good because, I mean, you can compost these after, but I tend to just put them in the bin and buy some more. So yeah, again, same thing with this type. Now I don't know what this type is called because I actually got it from my work as just loose garlic. So again, these will just be pushed in. The only thing I'm worried about is that these seed trays are not very deep. I think they're deep enough for them to get some roots and some good growth, and I think it will do the job over winter anyway. So yeah, more on this than I thought actually. So I will more than likely get another tray, which I do have. I do have quite a lot of these. These are recycled from other plots that haven't been using them. I've also been saving a lot of pots throughout the year for exactly this reason. So again, just top some of these up. Again, no gloves. I will never learn, but I don't know. I just prefer to use my hands. I don't know. I've read somewhere that there is a chemical that is released when you touch soil that makes you feel better. So we all need that. So yeah, so that one is full. Now I'll just continue to plonk these in. Now, if anyone's got any suggestions on their preferred method of growing garlic, I mean, I will happily read them in the comments. I know everyone likes to do things differently. There's never a wrong way. For gardening, it's about what works for you, what works for the individual person. Now, I've only grew garlic once, which was this year, and I had quite a good success. So this year, this is why I'm trying to try something different as well as the way that I did before. Now again, these ones are, I'm not going to use these are very small. So yeah, they will go again in the compost bin. My stick. Oh yeah, now for the elephant garlic, I'm thinking I might use these bigger pots because that is almost the size of one of these trays. So yeah, I think these will go into one of these. But again, I'm just going to fill it up, lightly press it down because I don't want this to be compacted at all. Now we'll push this in, maybe just add a bit more around the edge, just so it's just poking out. Now these can sit in this tray anyway. Keep them all together. But I'm hoping that my elephant garlic, at least these two, are gonna give me some garlic, because the two that I have in the ground over there, or three I think it is, haven't started to sprout yet. So I'm still holding out for hope, but in case they don't work, I have two more. Now, I don't want to eat the elephant garlic this year. I want to build up my own stockpile. So if these work and I get my own cloves, I will then save them, dry them, and next year I'll have a bigger crop to grow, meaning the year after I can then have more and more of my own garlic to regrow, which I think is a slow process, but I think in the end it's going to be more beneficial to me and friends and family, because I can then start to give them away, because I believe elephant garlic at a garden centre can be pretty pricey. So these are done, these are labelled. Now I won't label the two elephant garlic because it's clear to see what it is. Yes, I will take these into the polytunnel, give them a good water, and I will show you my seedlings from the flowers that I planted, which are shooting up. really well. So yeah. Yep, so that is all the garlic planted and ready to go. I just need to give these a light watering as the soil was quite damp anyway. But yeah, fingers crossed these are going to give me some nice garlic next year. So another thing that I treated myself to last week was a cranberry bush. Now, I've never seen these in garden centres before, and I was really interested in attempting to grow them on the plot this year. Now, I have several fruit bushes already. I have raspberries, gooseberries, black currants, white currants. I have a full strawberry patch, and I also have loganberries. Now, I thought that a cranberry might be a good addition to my plot, so I did some research, and they prefer a more acidic soil, so I had to go and buy some ericaceous compost. Now, where I'm putting it in the ground is very clay, so I think I will just dig a big hole, fill it full of the ericaceous compost, and then plant it into that. Now, that should sustain it for next year. Now, that might just mean that I need to top up the top with some more acidic soil, or find ways to enrich the ground for that plant. But again, that's something I can research into. But I will show you the plant. Now, this is called Pilgrim. Now, it needs full sun, it's winter hardy and is deciduous, which means it will lose all of its leaves during the winter. Now, that's fine. The problem is this plant seems to be very, as you can see, very floppy and not very strong. So I think I will use the green cane that it came with and maybe wrap some cord just to keep it upright for now. If that fails and it continues to flop, I will probably just cut this like low, and hopefully next year it will have new shoots, new growth, and that will be a lot sturdier. So yeah, I will show you the soil that I got for this plant. It's quite a big bag, so I can give it a real good chance of growing. Now, like I said, I'm just going to dig a hole, put a lot of this in, and plant that in it. That should do the trick. Now, I know a lot of plants, especially azaleas and rhododendrons that I have in my back garden. Now, a good way of telling that they have took out all the nutrients they need from the soil and are lacking in what they need is they tend to change colour. Now, my rhododendrons seem to go really pale, like the wrong sort of colour. The flowers were not great, and that was a good indication of me to get some of this. And all I did was covered the top with soil. I dug a bit of it in, and the rain again just let that soak down into the roots. That did the trick. So fingers crossed that this cranberry is going to do well next year. I nearly slipped. But yeah, this is the location that I have chose for my cranberry bush. Now, it's at the back of my plot, and it's going to be in front of my pink, what's it called, buddleia. So yeah, it shouldn't struggle being here. The buddleia is going to be kept into a nice shape. I'm not going to let it grow really big. This will be in front of it, and then I've got the foreground to plant any of my the flowers that I'm growing in the polytunnel and any additional ones that I want to squeeze in. So yeah, I'll dig the hole and get in that compost and yeah, get this in the ground. So yeah, like I said previously, I have already started to hit clay. Now, it's not much of a problem, things have grew well in it this year, but I definitely think adding the ericaceous soil is going to benefit this bed. So yeah. So that's the hole dug. Now it's intentionally a lot bigger than I need because the plan is to fill it full of the ericaceous soil to give this little guy the best chance it can for its roots to spread and to have enough of the soil to sustain it for next year. So a good tip that I found when opening these plastic bags is open from the top like a packet of crisps, and then once you are done with this bag, one, it's easy to seal up in case you have any soil left. It's also good to put any rubbish, any plastics that you find around the plot in this bag so you can take it away when you're finished. So yeah, fill up this hole, just a little bit for now, then get this one in. Just give it a light patting down. And there we go. And yeah, also gives me a good amount to take home, which I do have 1 or 2 blueberry bushes that I can use this for, and then I will bring the bag back and reuse for any rubbish or plastic that I find around the place and get it recycled. Right, so now that is my garlic planted, and I have planted my cranberry bush at the back. Now Seedcraft also sent me my broad beans. Now I already have 2 types at home that I need to bring down and pot up into trays, because last year I didn't direct sow these. I had quite a good success with putting them into trays. So with the Sutton broad beans and the crimson broad bean, which is, the crimson one is a red flowered broad bean and it's more of a ornamental variety. Now it is edible and they are very nice, but it gives you a nice smell and not as typical as your white flowers. So these give off a really nice red flower, which is just nice just to have around. So yeah, I grew those last year. I will try and insert an image. Yeah, they grew really well and I will be doing them again this year. But Seedcraft has sent me broad beans that are a aquadulce variety. Now again, this is to plant now. As everything they send you on that month is for you to plant that month. So these are, again, they just look like your basic broad bean. I am going to directly sow these into the ground. I think I have a bed that is empty, that is prepped, It just needs a light rake, and I will do some drills and I will just place these along. Yeah, so I believe these are about 2 to 3 inches deep. I normally go about the same length as my little finger, and I'm pretty sure it's about 9 inches wide. Just enough space for each plant to be able to grow. Again, that's a guideline. You do you. I tend to just put them in a line, even amount of space to where I think they're going to do well. And last year that worked for me. But yeah, I'm going to get this in the ground. I just need to rake over the bed, do a few drills, and then chuck them in. So yeah, 4 beans planted in the ground, 3 nice lines, and hopefully over the next few weeks, especially with the mild weather we've been having, they should start poking through. Yeah, fingers crossed that type will do as well as my last ones. Yeah, so over the next possibly a week or two, I will get the beans covered over, simple framework, and I will just get some netting. I have seen we have squirrels, pigeons, and some small roe deer that pass through this plot, so the last thing I need is for them to be dug up. So yeah, I'll get that sorted this week, and for now I'm going to do a bit of bulb planting. I have a lot of alliums that I want to plant into a terracotta pot, and yeah, just another thing to add some interest and colour to my plot next year. Yeah, so this is the plant pot that I brought from home that I want to reuse to plant my allium bulbs. Now, I do have some of the larger purple ones. I have some of the larger, I believe these are white, and then I have some of the smaller ones. Now, I believe one of these is allium molly, which are the yellow ones, and I do have the smaller white ones. Now, I will fit as many in this plant pot as possible to give me a really good display, and I plan on putting this near the entrance to my polytunnel, again with my other 3 plots that I have stuff planted in. So yeah, I'll get this filled up and we'll get planting. So, filled up my pot with some soil. Now, if I can remember, the alliums tend to only to go about 10 centimeters deep, so I filled up enough to just give them that depth. So the plan is I want the larger ones obviously in the middle, and I want some of the smaller ones around the outside. Again, sorry about the mic, it's the only place I can put it that won't give me that horrible rustly noise. So yes, I will get these in. Again, no order, because I don't know what colour they are anyway. And I promise you, I've not just sat down this entire visit. It's just nice to relax and do a few jobs. So yeah, so I think 4, maybe 5 in this plant pot. The larger ones will be plenty, I think. Yeah, I don't want to overcrowd it too much. Now, just want a handful of these. Again, these have started to sprout already, so I would just evenly put these around. Pointing side up is normally a really good indicator when there's a green shoot poking out the end. Now that is the top, and the bottom is where the roots would come from. So again, just putting enough of these in to give me a nice display so I don't lose them all. And then the other colour. I do believe that it's slowly starting to rain, so probably won't be here for much longer. So again, I am going to have plenty spare bulbs to fill more pots or pass on. So when you are happy with your kind of arrangement, again, if I find the soil here, just top it up with the rest. And that should give a nice full pot next year. So yeah, just find somewhere to put it. The one thing I wanted to do today as well is to use my little harvest basket that I was given to by my sister, and I want to pick some of these apples. Now, I was told recently that the green ones are a golden delicious. Now, I was under the belief that they were cooking apples, but the size kind of threw me off. And then these red ones are, again, unsure, but they are edible nonetheless, and they taste very nice. So I will fill up my basket and get some of these taken home. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have apples for a good week or two. Now, I do want to put some at the entrance to the plots so others can take them, because I have a lot. But yeah, for now, I think that's me jobbed out. So I've called it a day. Actually quite a nice evening here today. Seems to be quite a few people dotted around, busy at work. So yeah, it's just been a nice day to get a few hours done and just have a bit of peace and quiet. So yeah, got my apples. I'm gonna get myself off home and have a nice bath. So yeah, enjoy your evening.